Hi guys, what's up? Welcome to my channel, Little Ray of Sunshine. My name is Raelle, and today, if you notice by the title, I am going to be talking about my postpartum experience and some steps that I took to kind of overcome or ease the difficulty of my postpartum depression. So, if you don't know what postpartum depression is, obviously I'm not a doctor, I'm not a professional by any means. But what I've gathered is it's a form of depression that forms after you give birth to your child. So, hence postpartum depression. It is something that is irrational, and it's something that I feel happens to every mom. We just don't realize it until after the fact, and a lot of us don't report it. So, according to statistics, only about 60 to 70% of moms experience it, and that's only from those who reported it. And I just want to say that my postpartum depression symptoms or signs that I was going through it was that I was irrational at times, where I was just irritable about things that I usually wouldn't be irritable about. I didn't feel like myself at times. I would cry randomly for what seemed like no reason. There was times where I would not leave the house for like days at a time, which is not like me. And then I also had insomnia, so I could not sleep at times. And so I knew that I was suffering a mild case of it, but I never once thought about harming myself, harming my child, or harming other people. If you ever feel like that, please, I put the number here. Please get help. It's okay to suffer from postpartum depression, and there are people out there that are willing to help you, and it's just a temporary form of depression. So please get help. You are still a good mother. You are still a good person. You're just suffering from something that happens after you give birth. Your hormones are rebalancing. You're trying to adjust to your new life. And being a mom is a difficult job, in which is full of blessings, but it also is full of adversity and difficulties, and we all need to stick together and bond together to get the help we need so we can raise our child to be the best they can be. So, as I said, again, I'm not a professional. These are just some of the tips that I took to overcome my postpartum depression. So the first is to have a great support system. So my support system, thankfully, so I have a friend. Me and her have grown so much closer since we've had our kids. Her son and my daughter are 2 weeks apart. Yeah, 2 weeks apart to the day. And it has made this process, my pregnancy process and our postpartum process, our motherhood journey, so much easier because we can relate to one another. And we do not have the same pregnancy / motherhood journey at all, but we are able to share this experience and support and help one another. And I'm so grateful for her, because I don't think I would have made it through this far without her. And I know she tells me all the time that she wouldn't have done it without me either. Her son is like my son, and my daughter is like her daughter. Because they both have one immediate grandparent that's local, they both view them as their grandchild. So they have two. They got two in a matter of 2 weeks, which is awesome. So yeah, find you a good support system and then remain active. So me and my friend, we walk the mall together, we go to parks together, we walk around, we go shopping together, we take pictures of the kids together, we go to museums, we go to the aquarium, we go everywhere together. We go shopping together, we go eating together, we do everything together. So find you a friend. It's awesome. The number one person I want to give credit to is my husband. I've seen so many people struggle worse with postpartum depression, or just depression after having a child or during their pregnancy, because they did not have a good significant other. The father of their child may not have been that supportive or may have caused more burdens on them. Luckily for me, I was blessed enough to have an awesome husband who did not create any burdens on me whatsoever. He actually lifted them off my shoulders, which was amazing. And I'm so grateful because I know not everybody has that. He stayed home for 2 months to help me and my daughter transition. He was very hopeful. He wanted to be here. He was so sad when he had to go back to work. And then once he went back to work, he still kept up that same energy. He did not switch up at all. He still wanted to give her baths, feed her, play with her, interact with her, change her diapers. I know a lot of dads don't like to change diapers. My husband does not hesitate. Just any way he could be a part of anything involving my daughter, he was. He also made sure that I was okay. So he also made sure that I ate, that I was taken care of, that I was feeling well, that I was getting, the breaks that I needed throughout the day. And my husband travels to work 2 hours there and 2 hours back, and he still does this with no complaint. He doesn't say he's tired, he doesn't want to do it. He does it with no complaint. So I just want to give a big shout out to my husband for just making this process so much easier for me. I also had support from friends. They came and visited. They would help me if we hung out in any way I needed. And they just really love Bray, my daughter, so much. And then we also have our church family again, which is, they're not even my church family, they're my family. They made sure that we were okay, that if we need anything, they would have it. Literally, my church family is such a big part of this, because if I wanted to have a break every weekend of the year, I guarantee you I have enough people in my life to make that happen. They might have to watch her twice in the whole year, but I have enough people to make that happen. That's such a blessing. Such a blessing, because I know that I can trust them with my daughter's life, and they would treat her the way that I would treat her, which is awesome. So my first tip is to get a great support system, and my family, my friends, and my church family were it. They made sure we were well taken care of. Secondly, remain active. And I don't mean remain active in the way that you were prior to being a mom. It's unrealistic. That's part of the reason why we become sad. We can't do everything that we used to do, or if we can, it takes us longer than it used to. That's okay. Just remain active. Do one thing for you or for your family or for another person a day. So that could be doing laundry. That could be cooking one meal. That could be going out on a date with your significant other. That could be going out with your friend to lunch or dinner or to visit a museum. That could be going to Target, which is awesome. That was one of my favorite pastimes. It could be taking a nap. Just whatever you want to do to remain active. Just do one thing a day. So if you used to do 6 things a day and feel accomplished, do one. And I promise you that will make things easier. So again, this is why a support system is number 1, because they help you remain active. Which is my third point, is to find and have mommy friends. So I have a friend. Me and her have grown so much closer since we've had our kids. Her son and my daughter are 2 weeks apart. Yeah, 2 weeks apart to the day. And it has made this process, my pregnancy process and our postpartum process, our motherhood journey, so much easier, because we can relate to one another. And we do not have the same pregnancy / motherhood journey at all. But we are able to share this experience and support and help one another. And I'm so grateful for her, because I don't think I would have made it through this far without her. And I know she tells me all the time that she wouldn't have done it without me either. Walk the mall together, we go to parks together, we walk around We go shopping together, we take pictures of the kids together, we go to museums, we go to the aquarium, we go everywhere together. We go shopping together, we go eating together, we do everything together. So I was blessed enough to already have mommy friends, and then again, as I just mentioned, I have a mommy friend who our children are very close in age, but then I also have mommy friends who their kids are a couple years older than mine, and then I have mommy friends who just became moms. It doesn't matter what stage of motherhood they're in, find you a mommy friend or a couple, because they help this process too. They're able to give you advice if you need it. They're able to share these experiences with you, and they know how it feels, so they're able to offer help. So there's just certain things in motherhood that you go through that you never experienced prior to being a mom, and that's okay. But I just think having a mommy friend really helps you be able to vent and feel like you're not alone in this, which also helps with feeling depressed. My fourth tip is to have professional help if needed. And what I mean is find a therapist, find a psychologist, or someone who can help you through this process. I am blessed enough to be married into a family of therapists, literally. So my father, he actually is a therapist himself. And so if I really have something that's bugging me, or if he sees that something's bugging me, he'll kind of start a conversation and then we'll talk about it, or I'll go to him and I'll talk about it. So he's very, very helpful. I also have an aunt and uncle, again, in which I married into, that treat me as if I'm their birth-given niece. But they're also therapists. They have their own private practice. So me and my aunt, we go to lunch. We try to go to lunch monthly. Sometimes we go more, sometimes we go less. But she's a huge, when I say a huge factor, this is an aunt who was there for my delivery and labor. And then she has been there every month or so after. She helps me just in any way that I need it. And it's not a formal therapy session, never. It's just a conversation, and if she hears any flags or anything that she sees like I need to talk about, she'll ask me about it and we'll talk about it, and then I get great advice. So that was really, really helpful. And I just suggest, if you don't have that blessing that I do, that you go seek it. There are so many trained professionals that can help you. And even if you don't think that you're going through it, it's just good to talk to somebody who has nothing to do with your personal life. I think it's just great for mental health. Taking care of yourself means that you're taking care of your child. And then my fifth and final tip is, I am a very spiritual person. Me and my husband, we are very faithful in our spiritual walk. We are Christian. We go to church regularly. We are now youth coordinators at our church, which is something new. But we're very involved in our church in any way that we can be. And that is something that we maintained, especially me, after we gave birth to our daughter. So we never stopped going. I did take the break, obviously, to heal before I went, but we never stopped going. We're still going to different ministry events. And then, of course, now we are volunteered to be youth coordinators, and we're taking on that role this year. So I would suggest that even if you don't feel comfortable going to church, I understand. It's something that was my sense of peace. I would hear the word. I'd be able to do studies with the word. I would be able to pray and talk to God about my issues and ask him for healing, or ask him for, enlightenment, or ask him for whatever I needed. And then eventually